Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, let us take a look into add configuration properties annotation. Well, add configuration properties annotation is used to bind external configurations to a strongly typed Spring Bean in your application code. And next, you can inject and use this Spring Bean throughout your application code just like any other Spring Bean. Well, add configuration property annotation is widely used in real-time projects because we can use this annotation to directly bind an external configuration properties to a Java class. For example, look at here the code snippets. Here we have properties file and here we have a Java class. Well, this Java class is annotated with add component annotation, so we can call this class as a Spring Bean. Next, in order to directly bind this properties file content to this Java class fields, we can use add configuration properties annotation. For example, if you can notice here the properties app.name, app.description, app.upload directly. So these properties we can directly bind to the Java class fields like name, description and upload directory fields. Next, we can bind the nested object properties. For example, here app.security.name, app.security.password, app.security.roles, app.security.enabled. So in order to bind these nested object properties, what we can do is we can create a separate class. For example, look at here security, and within a security class we have defined all these properties. For example, username, password, roles and enabled. So this is how we can use add configuration properties annotation to bind nested object properties in a Java class. Next, we can bind the properties to the map. For example, here are the properties, and in order to bind these properties we can create a map with the name permissions, and after the permissions you can see can view post equal to true. So these are the key value pair, and this key value pair will be stored in this map. Okay, so this is how we can use add configuration properties annotation to bind the properties to directly to the Java class fields. Well, here one more important point is add configuration properties annotation has attribute prefix, and we have provided a value as an app. So basically this add configuration properties annotation will bind all the properties which are prefixed with a string app. For example, if you can observe here, all these properties are prefixed with the string app, right? So this add configuration properties annotation will basically bind all these properties to this Java class fields. Next, let me demonstrate the usage of add configuration properties annotation with an example. So let's go to our project in IntelliJ IDEA and go to application.properties file. Within application.properties file, we are going to define all the properties. So here, let's first define the top level application properties. So here just type app.name equal to, let's give application name something like configuration properties demo. Next, let's give application description something like configuration properties demo description. Next, app.upload hyphen directory equal to, let's give directory name something like uploads. Okay, now we have defined the top level application properties. Next, let's use add configuration properties annotation to bind these properties. So here, go to the base package. Within that, let's create a new package. Let's call it as configuration properties. So here I am demonstrating the usage of add configuration properties annotation. That's why I have given the package name configuration properties. Next, within this package, let's create a class. Let's give name as app properties. Within an app properties class, let's define the instance variables private string name and then private string description and then private string upload directory. Well, make sure that the field name should be same as the property names. For example, if you go to application.properties file, here we have given the property name, description and upload hyphen dir. So in order to bind this property to the field, we can give field name as a upload directory. Okay, we can give the property name in a camel case like this. Okay, perfect. Next, let's annotate this class with add configuration properties annotation, and then let's use its prefix attribute and then pass a value as a app. So this prefix attributes basically we use to tell add configuration properties annotation that read all the properties which are prefixed with the string app. And if you go to application.properties file, here we have defined these three properties, and these three properties are prefixed with the string app. Okay, next let's go back to app properties class, and within app properties class let's create a getter methods for these private fields. So here right click, generate, and then getter, and then select these fields, click on OK. Perfect. Next what we'll do, we'll annotate this class with add component annotation so that we can inject this class as a Spring Bean in another class. For example, here let me create one more class. Let's give name as app properties demo, and let's annotate this class with add component annotation. Next we can inject app properties Spring Bean in a app properties demo class. So here just create a field private app properties, and in order to inject the Spring Bean we have to annotate this field with @word annotation. Perfect. Next here let me quickly create a method public void, and then let's give method something like display. Alright, and let me put the system.out.println over here, and then app properties dot get name, and then let's put system.out.println, and then app properties dot get description, and then system.out.println app properties dot get upload directory. Perfect. Next, in order to test this, we will retrieve this Spring Bean from the application context, and then we'll call its display method. So go to main point class over here, and here we have application context object. So here what we'll do, we'll retrieve app properties demo Spring Bean from the application context dot get bean method, and then pass app properties demo dot class. Perfect. Next here let's call its display method. So app properties demo dot display. Perfect. Next let us run this application and let us see how this works. So from this main method I am going to run this Spring Boot application, and here we got the exception. It says no setter found for property description. Well, if you go to app properties class over here, we have only created the getter methods, so we need to also create a setter methods. So here what I will do, I will remove these getter methods and right click, generate, and choose getter and setter, and select all these fields, click on OK. Now we have created getter setter methods for these private fields. Next let's go to main point class and let's run the application again. So from here I am going to run the Spring Boot application, and there we go. In output you can able to see the application name, description, and upload directory is printed. Okay, it means we have successfully used add configuration properties annotation to bind the properties to the Java class fields. Next let me demonstrate how we can bind the nested object properties. So first let me define the properties. So here let me add the comment. Let's say nested object properties, and here just type the property app dot security dot username equal to, let's say, Java guides, and then app dot security dot password equal to, let's say, secret, and then app dot security dot roles. So we can give roles separated by comma, for example user, admin, guest. Well, in order to bind these values we can use list in a Java class. Next app dot security dot enabled equal to true. Now we have defined the properties. Next let us bind these properties to the Java class. So go to application.properties file, and here let's quickly create a class public static class. Let's give class name as security, and within a security class let's create a instance variable private string username, and make sure that the field name should be same as the property name. For example, if you go to application.properties file, here we have given the property name username, right? So this username should be same as this field name. Next, private string password. So this password field name should be same as this property name. And notice here the roles are separated by comma, and in order to bind these roles we can use list. So let's go back to app properties over here, and here let's have a list of type string, and let's give field name as roles and then new array list. Perfect. Next, private and then boolean and then the field name enabled. Okay, so if you go to application.properties file, here we have a property name enabled and the value is true. So true is a boolean, right? So in order to bind this enabled property to the Java class field, we can use a boolean type like this. Okay, perfect. Next, let's create a getter setter methods for this security class. So here right click, generate, and choose getter setter and choose all these fields and click on OK. Now we have created security class. Next, let's create an object of this security class in a app properties class. So go to here, and here let's have a private security equal to new security. Well, make sure that the field name should be security, because if you go to application.properties file, we have used the property name as a security. Okay, perfect. Next, we need to create a getter setter method for this security field as well. So go at the bottom, and here right click and then generate and then getter setter and select the security field, click on OK. Alright, perfect. Next, let's go to app properties demo class. Here go to display method. Within that, let's print the security details. So here system.out.println and then app properties and then call get security and then it has get username. So let's have one more system.out.println statement and then app properties dot get security dot get password, and next system.out.println app properties dot get security dot get roles, and then system.out.println app properties dot get security dot get enabled. Perfect. Now we have printed the security related property values. Next, let's go to main point class. From here, let's run the application, and there we go. We can able to see the values in the console. The security username is printed, password is printed, roles are printed, and enabled property value is printed. And if you go to application.properties file, and if you can notice here the values, security.username equal to Java guides, security.password equal to secret, and the roles like user, admin, guest, and enabled is true. So this is how we can use add configuration properties annotation to bind nested object properties. Okay, next let me demonstrate how to bind the properties to the map. So here let me first write the comment map properties, and here just type the property app dot security dot permissions dot add equal to true. Let me copy this property, paste it over here, and let us change from add to update, and let me copy, paste it, and let's say delete, and let's copy and paste, and here let's say get equal to true. So notice here the properties. App is the top level property. Within that we have security. Within the security we have permissions, and then we have a key value pair. Add equal to true, update equal to true, delete equal to true, get equal to true. Right? So let's see how to bind these properties directly to the map. So go to app properties class and go to security class. Within a security class, let's create a map, and let's give the field name permissions equal to new hash map, and make sure that the permissions field name is same as the property name. Okay, perfect. Next, go back to app properties class, and here let's quickly create a getter setter methods for this permissions field. So go at the bottom in a security class, and here right click, generate getter setter, select the permissions field, click on OK. Now we have created a getter setter methods for permissions field in a security class. Next, let us test this change. So let's go to app properties demo class over here, and here let's go to display method, and let's print the permissions map. So here just put the system.println and then app properties dot get security dot get permissions. Perfect. Next, let us run the application and let's see how this works. So go to main endpoint class. From here let's run the application, and there we go. You can able to see the map is printed, and the map contains key value pair like add equal to true, update equal to true, delete equal to true, and get equal to true. So this is how we can use add configuration properties annotation to directly bind the properties to the map in a Java class. Well, in real-time project we use add configuration properties annotation a lot to directly bind the external configuration to the Java Pojo class. Alright, I hope you understood how to use add configuration properties annotation to bind the external configuration properties to the Java class. Alright, great. I will see you in the next video.